Ho ho ho!
Hello everybody and welcome to GEMS International School, Tropicana Metropark Christmas celebration. It seems strange to address you in this way rather than address you in the assembly hall where we were this time last year. But 2020 has been a strange year and so this year you'll have to put up with me speaking to you from my own home, rather like Queen Elizabeth on Christmas Day. Today I want to focus on the meaning of Christmas and why we celebrate Christmas through the ages. In fact, people have been celebrating Christmas before even Christmas. People in the Northern Hemisphere, where I'm from, have been celebrating midwinter festivals since ancient times. Because during the winter period, when the Earth tilts the furthest away that it can from the sun in the Northern Hemisphere, we have a period of darkness, we have a period of cold weather. And therefore, my ancestors were always looking for times to make themselves feel better, times to remind them that there was hope still to come. And that's why they have lots of festivals of light. And so it was pretty clear when Christians were looking for a time to celebrate the birth of Jesus that they chose to cite that during the midwinter, when we need the hope, we need the light, and we need to be reminded of the light in darkness. The Star of Bethlehem is a really good example of that. It guides people, ordinary people, to come and find this ordinary child born in a stable because there was no room at the inn, a child who Christians believe went on to save the world and to save mankind for all time. The key part of the Christmas story for many people is that Jesus wasn't born in a palace. He wasn't born with riches. He was born relatively poor. And the important thing, therefore, is to remember, even in these difficult times, when we've all had really difficult things to cope with, that we remember those who are less fortunate than us. Thank you very much to many of you for supporting our shoebox appeal and for making sure that those young people who, for this Christmas, might not receive all the presents that the students in our school might get, that they too can have that experience of hope, have that experience of something to look forward to. But Christmas is not just about presents, it's not just about giving in that sense. It's about faith for Christians, it's about the birth of Jesus and the start of the Christian year, his ministry. It's about hope, as I said before, this light in darkness, that things might get better, the glimmer of light, the glimmer of hope. For us, that's going to be some fun that in miserable times, some time to spend with our family in a very different way, even though we've probably spent a lot of time with our families this year. But for some of us, we won't be able to do that, and we might have to rely on Zoom, we might have to rely on video calls and those kinds of things to see some of our family. But Christmas is also about charity. And charity doesn't just mean giving. In fact, the word charity, it's come to mean that, but it originally came from the word caritas, which means love of your fellow man, love of your fellow human beings. And we can all show that by being kind and supportive and helping each other out. And that's what I'd like to stress to all students at this time. Your parents have had a difficult year. Things have been difficult for us all. So during this Christmas period, really try and help them out and try and do some great things to make them feel better too. Times are tough and we need each other. And we've been very grateful to all of our families for the kindness that you have shown, for the tenacity that you have shown, the resoluteness that you have shown in making sure that we continue to work and continue to be able to educate your children. For that, we're really grateful too. It is on that theme that I just want to pause, because one of my favourite Christmas poems, I'm an English teacher, and it's been turned into a carol and sung a lot during my Christmas experience, but it's a favourite poem of mine. It was written by a lady called Christina Rossetti in 1872, and it focuses on what I've been talking about, that light in darkness and the hope during the winter. It goes, "In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan, earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow, in the bleak midwinter, long ago." The poem continues, and the poet examines what might you do to celebrate the birth of Christ, to celebrate Christmas. But I think the final verse is really the most important thing for me. It's the most important gift of Christmas, in my opinion. The poet asks, "What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I'd bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what I can, I give him my heart." And that's what I ask you all to give each other this Christmas. Give your heart, give your kindness, give your support to each other as you have given it to us throughout this year, and for which we are very grateful. To my colleagues who are far from home and missing their loved ones, I think we now know that this period that we are in, is only going to be temporary. It will move on, things will get better, things will change. But for now, be resolute, support one another, and look out for each other. To all Christians, I wish you a really blessed Christmas. I hope you have a lovely time. To all of you, I wish you a very Merry Christmas, a prosperous New Year filled with happiness and health. Have a great one. Bye-bye.